the Tissot PRX. Many people claim that this is the one watch collection that you can't go wrong with. But is it really so? I bought this watch last year and today I'm going to lay it out all for you today whether it's worth the hype. And later in this video, I will also review one thing that people kind of hate about this PRX. So in the last few years, we have seen a lot of watch brands start to reissue, re-edition, re-release, came up with vintage collection, whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's them re-release and reuse whatever design that they have in the past. So it's not an exception with their release of the PRX, which is a reissue of the 1978 C-Star model. Plenty of variants have come out since: the 40mm Powermatic, the 35mm Quartz, the chronographs, the one with the rubber strap, the glow-in-the-dark version, and this hideous piece of crap. And then, finally, the one that many have been waiting for, the 35mm Powermatic. So, let's talk about this. Coming in various different colors and the latest release of the light green version, you are kind of spoiled with choices when it comes to dull colors. I have my own bias for sure. My favorite is this one, the mother of pearl. Although, I have to say I almost picked the ice blue one just because it's something very unique and I find it difficult to get elsewhere. But more on that dull later. Now let's move on to the hard facts. Pricing starts at $695 for most variants, with this mother of pearl version priced slightly higher at $750, while the gold tone version is priced at $825. Measuring 35mm in diameter with a case thickness of 10.9mm. For a 35mm watch, the lug-to-lug measurement is slightly longer than usual, especially due to the lugs here, mainly because of the integrated bracelet. Water resistance is rated at 10 bar, with the Powermatic movement boasting a power reserve of 80 hours, thanks to the modification of reducing the frequency from 4 Hz to 3 Hz. This means the movement is beating at the standard 21,600 BPH compared to 28,800 BPH, hence the impressive 80 hours power reserve. Sapphire crystals are present on both sides, with Super Luminova lume on the stick, hour and minute hands. Funnily enough, even after the release of the 35mm version, many people actually requested for a 38 instead. Not me though. I really love this size. Yes, it's 35mm, which at first kind of sounds small, right? But then it kind of wears like a 37 due to the lengthier lug-to-lug and the case design. This is not like your typical round watch. This is more angular, boxier watch which sits rather in that sweet spot for a wrist like mine. My wrist measures at 150mm. Even on my husband's wrist, which is 160, it still looks okay. I feel it rather suits him. It looks classy. And here's my gripe with most men. I find that most guys out there, they are so afraid of small watches. Even though their wrists are small, they tend to wear really huge, like 40 to 42mm kind of watch. But then their wrists are small, so it just looks tacky and a little bit trying too hard. So guys, if you have small wrists, please do not be afraid in trying vintage, classier sizes because it might look really good on you. So what makes this watch so popular is the integrated bracelet, because nobody will believe that you can get an integrated bracelet watch at this price range. But is it good? Now, it looks real good, especially when the lights shine on each link when you are doing a wrist roll. Not only does it look good, but it kind of feels good as well. Sadly though, it is a scratch magnet, as you can see. Yeah, quite a lot of scratches. And there are no micro adjustments, meaning it's a bit difficult to find the right perfect fit. You either remove or keep that one link. As a Swiss brand, I expect nothing but the best from Tissot. And this MOP version definitely takes the cake. Initially, like what I story earlier, I had trouble in choosing the ice blue or the mother of pearl version, and that's why I asked you guys on my Instagram last year. Most of you voted for the ice blue version. I would too, if I'm judging solely based on photos. Like in the photos, the ice blue version really looks good, but when you hold these two versions and you try to compare it side by side, you will notice few things. These PRXs aren't as good looking as what people said. They are pretty flat looking, boxy, not the kind of watch that really will wow you. They are simply photogenic, like that ice blue version. Wow, handsome looking thing, that one. But when I see it hands on, I was a bit underwhelmed and, to be honest, a bit disappointed. What doesn't disappoint me but rather excites me is this MOP version. Unlike the others, this MOP dial doesn't look boring, doesn't look flat. I enjoy looking at the dial while I keep moving it back and forth to see the texture of the waffle dial, the subtle variation in the colors or hues. Like some are a bit greenish, some are a bit bluish, pinkish. If this is your first time watching my videos, you'll quickly find out that I love beautiful dials, and it's probably one of the most important factors for me when it comes to buying any watch. Nothing much to be said about the rest of the finishing. It's all good, brush on the bracelet and case with a polished bezel and sign crown. Now let's move on to something more important. What are the points to consider before buying this watch? Let's talk about what's good about this watch. And I can't skip this because it's so popular, kind of solely because of this point, the price. Seriously, at this price range, you can't find any other integrated bracelet watches. Sure, maybe there are some in the micro brand category, but when it comes to a mainstream legitimate Swiss-made brand, the PRX for sure is the winner. The nearest alternative that I can think of would be the Christopher Watts, the 12 at $1,000. You see what I mean? Now, what are the bad points about this watch? As mentioned, because it's an integrated bracelet without a micro adjustments, it's harder to find the perfect fit for your wrist. Secondly, you might get PRX fatigue, like how people get fatigue over superhero movies, simply because there are too many. Like Marvel's MCU, Tissot keeps milking this and keeps releasing them in various colors, which I don't really mind, to be honest, until I saw this ugly thing. What even is this? Yeah, in my view, this thing kind of brings down the PRX reputation. Thirdly, there are plastic parts in the movement. I can't really confirm this, but this seems to be the most talked about topics when it comes to PRX. Now, why do people despise having plastic parts in their watch? Most people who like watches, they tend to be hopeless romantics themselves. They want to keep each part of the watch as long-lasting as possible. They want to pass on their watch to the next generation. And yeah, apparently you can't do that if there are plastic parts in your watch, or so they claim. Because I guess most people theorize that instead of them servicing each of those plastic parts, they rather dispose it and probably just replace the whole thing. And I guess most people don't like that. And also, I think generally people just don't like the material plastic. Plastics are often associated to being cheap. So yeah, that's probably one of the reasons. Now, does it matter at the end of the day? I don't know, it's all up to you. But to me, I don't really mind it. I'm not bothered by it. At the end of the day, Tissot will still service your watch. I mean, even if they were to replace the whole movement, like, I'm okay with that. I don't mind. So with all these points to consider, as a PRX owner, I love this watch. I definitely don't regret this purchase. It's my favorite one to wear right now, and I would say it's probably one of the easiest watch to recommend to people. Now, if you're interested in getting one yourself, I'll leave some links below in my description for you to check it out. And that's all from me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment what do you think about this watch. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.